themselves and push themselves to their limits while avoiding all comeback. Is this what happened to Kate? That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Let's go talk to Emma about this.
Do you know about the mirror room at Atlas?
Mirror room. No, I heard about it, but I think it was only for the students later on in the course. Something like that.
Strange question. Have you ever known of anyone selling dried poppy pods?
Poppy pods? Don't think so. Isn't that opium?
Kind of. It's okay.
Okay.
Do you know what a prime candidate is at Atlas? Yes, it's what every student wants to be. It's the best student. Apparently you get a great high-paid job afterwards. I don't think that really happens, though.
Did you know anyone in the running to be prime candidate?
What, like Simon? I don't think they picked Simon, to be honest. Well, he's got too many morals, and you can't have both at Atlas.
Huh.
Be back later on, if that's okay.
Okay.
Ask you a couple more things, please. Know anything about poppy pods? Come across anyone selling them or anything?
Poppy pods? Well, don't tell anyone, Inspector, but I hear that you can make opium out of those. Why do you ask?
Doesn't matter.
Well, that made him think.
Now, tell me what a prime candidate is.
You're learning a lot, aren't you, Inspector? Prime candidates are simply the best students, the ones with the most potential.
And what benefits do they get from that?
Well, they get the top job.
Which is?
Well, we have a deal with various multinationals. We train students to be exceptional, truly exceptional. And they get a wonderful top job. It's a very simple deal.
And how do you decide who the prime candidate is? Do you test students?
No.
Did you ever, say, ask Simon to test Kate, for instance?
Oh, you've actually been speaking to Simon, haven't you? I really wouldn't trust anything that Simon Thompson says. You know, he spent the best part of 2 months trying to undermine Kate. No. Now, Simon Thompson, it really isn't my place to speculate, but if you're looking for motives, Inspector, he certainly had a few motives. More than I.
A motive to kill her, do you mean?
Now, that's very interesting, Inspector. Well, that's up to you to decide.
So Simon didn't really like Kate? But can I really trust anything that this guy tells me?
Okay, that's it for now. Thank you.
Where am I at now? I'm at 85%. Who have I not talked to? I haven't talked to Paul. Not about the, this new info.
A few more questions, if you don't mind. What are prime candidates?
The best of the bunch. The peaches.
And so what does it mean to be a prime candidate?
Success. We have a special relationship with many major international companies. We provide them with our best students. And they get an instant job.
And what do you get out of it?
Well, it's a little kickback. It's just business, Inspector.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Okay, So let's start all the way down here and just walk the path again. Go see if he knows anything about
A few more
prime
questions,
candidates.
if you don't mind.
Okay, he doesn't.
Thank you. Probably be back later.
Rebecca would know about prime candidates, though. I should go talk to her about that. Already been up to the greenhouse. Behind the Brandon house again. I know something's gonna happen with that car. Pop over to the restaurant. Okay. Hit the bell.
A couple more questions, if that's okay. Do you know what a prime candidate is?
At Atlas, is the best student.
And what does that mean?
It means they get a guaranteed job with a very good salary. Well, that's the idea anyway.
But
Mostly they aren't up to it.
what happens then?
They get sacked.
Uh-huh.
That's all for the moment. Thank you.
Okay. So if you don't measure up, they just fire you. Let's go back behind the pub, make sure nothing new popped up here. Okay. Go up the north lane. I was sure something's gonna happen here at the village hall. It just hasn't happened yet. Have I asked Simon and Emma about... I have asked him about the prime candidates, yeah. I hope those people still out there. I like how as it gets further into night, things are just turning blue. Oh.
Just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You can push it all the way in, Tom, if you want to. Excellent, Tom.
Excuse me. Would someone care to tell me exactly what's going on here?
Don't come any closer.
That man needs a doctor.
No, he doesn't.
I don't need a doctor. I'm fine. Go away.
What is this?
A test?
Of what?
What does it look like? It's a threshold test. A pain threshold test. I thought, you were supposed to be good at working things out. Inspector Jenks.
And so this would be for Atlas, would it? Kyle?
You disappear now.
It's not a good idea to talk to a police inspector like that.
Do you want me to make you?
It's okay, Tom. Mr. Jenks won't be bothering us anymore.
Don't make any rash commitments.
Oh, keys! To the car! I get in the car now.
You really should take more care of your things, Ryan. Is your keys, Kyle?
No.
So I gave him the keys, but I kept a little...
So that's threshold testing, is it? Sticking a skewer through your hand? I could just ask Ryan or Paul directly about this, but I think I'll bide my time. See what I can do with this key fob first.
Let's finish walking through the woods here. I know where that key fob. That's his car. I was saying that there's something you can do with that car. Because it's suspicious that that car is there. This one is not going to open the garage. Ha! Ha ha ha. And he didn't hear that from inside the house. Oh. Because that little piece of paper is the suspicious thing here. What is that?
Bingo. Well, Ryan, what have you been up to? Be very interesting to see how he explains this one.
500 pounds for Kate. Oh boy. Let's go talk to Ryan about this. Actually, no. No, let's go talk to Paul first, and then go talk to Ryan.
A few more questions, please. Thank you. Now, why do you think Ryan might want to give Kate a cheque for £500?
I've really no idea. Where did you find it?
Just outside.
You better ask him.
You think Ryan was interested romantically in Kate?
I know he has a weakness for blondes, but I didn't think it had gone so far as his offering them cash.
Uh-huh. Didn't someone
Be back
mention...
later on, if that's okay.
I want to think someone mentioned that the students weren't bribed or coerced or anything like that. But that's what that money seems like it was. I mean, what else could it be but a bribe?
Ask you a couple more things, please. Would you like to explain what this is, please, Ryan? £500 intended for Kate. It fell out of your car. At least I assume that's your car on the driveway at Brandon House.
I suppose so.
So why were you going to give Kate £500, Ryan?
It was just a little incentive, that's all. Just a little incentive.
Not very little, Ryan. £500.
She was a very good student. We heard that she was leaving. We wanted to give her something.
But you didn't.
Well, obviously not.
Are you sure there wasn't any other reason you might want to give her this? Personal reason?
No!
Well, I'd like to keep hold of this for a little while, if you don't mind.
Well, don't consider it a bribe, will you, Inspector?
Okay, so there's definitely a contradiction in here. I know he mentioned something about... There's a setup fee. Aha! That's a contradiction.
Aha. So, students aren't coerced or bribed in any way, except Kate.
I'm not sure what you mean.
You said you were going to give Kate the £500 as an incentive. That's coercion, isn't it?
I really don't think you could call it coercion, Inspector. It was an incentive, that's all, a little encouragement.
So, how often do you use incentives?
Okay, incentive is probably the wrong word. The money was just to see how Kate would respond. It was part of her assessment.
Assessment?
We have to assess students as they progress. We don't use conventional methods like sitting an exam or anything like that. People pay for this course per session. We have to know if they're committed or not.
So you're assessing their progress and testing their commitment?
Yes, we are. We have to. This is a business, not a charity.
But didn't you
So
say
Ryan's
that they
claiming
weren't
the money was
tested?
part of Kate's assessment. And did this assessment also involve threshold testing, I wonder? Or was the money for something else?
Because he said here, students are not tested. Oh, it's doing that thing again.
Probably be back later.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back right now. I just have to reset the... Gotta reset the thing.
Just a few more questions, if you don't mind.
They said they weren't tested. No.
Would you like to explain what this is, please?
Okay, did it not take the last, thing? He said that money was an incentive. Okay, here we go. Gave Kate the money to test or assess her. It's up there in that one. But then here, he says students aren't tested.
Aha. Well, which one is it, Ryan? Do you test students or not?
Well, some of them, yes.
Including Kate?
Yes.
Why was she being tested?
She was being tested because we wanted to see if she was good enough to become prime candidate, okay?
So Kate was in the running to be prime candidate?
Yes!
And did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, I did. But I didn't ask him to do anything stupid. He knew it was against course rules.
How far did you ask him to push her?
I didn't ask him to push her. I asked him to test her. There's a huge difference! If Simon decided to give her too much caffeine or morphine or whatever, that's his responsibility. So if he did anything wrong, it was his own responsibility. He did it with his own mind and his own hand. We had nothing to do with it.
Uh-huh. Well.
Midnight, and still no suspect, unless you count everyone I've interviewed. It's no surprise that Ryan wants to avoid any suggestion of being responsible for Kate's death, but I wonder if the man protests just a little too much.
Okay. So let's ask Paul about this.
Ask about a few more things, please. Was Kate a prime candidate?
Well, as Ryan has probably already told you, yes, she was.
Did you ask Simon to test her?
Yes, it's company policy. Leaders don't get involved.
And it covers your back, of course.
Well, nobody knows the students better than they do, Inspector. It's much better to let them just work it out among themselves.
It isn't very professional to force students to test each other to the point where one of them gets killed, Paul.
We don't force students to do anything that they don't want to do, Inspector.
So you don't force them into being tested?
No, we don't encourage anybody to hurt or offend anybody else here.
You don't use threshold testing, for instance?
No. If Simon Thompson went too far with Kate, that's his responsibility, not ours. He's the one you should be speaking to, if truth be told. I don't trust him myself.
Uh-huh, they don't use threshold testing. But the CD in the mirror room mentioned threshold testing.
Aha. You say you don't endorse threshold testing, that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yes.
Except you do, Paul, because you told me that the students use that CD in the mirror room. I've listened to that CD, and it very clearly mentions threshold testing. You keep batting this away, Paul. We don't really use hypnosis. The students aren't really tested, but I am this close to launching a full-scale investigation.
Look, we get a kickback from these students, and they have to be exceptional. Of course we have to test them. That doesn't mean we do anything illegal. What do you think we do? Bump off the ones we don't like?
Well, that depends on how far you push them, doesn't it?
Well, we certainly don't kill them. Nobody here wanted Kate dead.
I'm sure they didn't. But what do you expect, Paul, when you put students under that much pressure?
She was a very, very valuable student. She was worth a lot to the business.
Really? And how much would that be?
But if you really want to know, 50 grand.
She was worth 50 grand?
Yes.
What, you were selling her?
Of course we were selling her. You don't get this, do you? We make perfect employees. Month after month. That's all we do.
What do you mean, perfect employees?
What big business needs, Inspector. More than anything
So
else.
they are making
altruistic,
slaves.
Goody-goody crap. What we look for is people with ambition. No ethics. Push. Greed is good. All right? We don't deal with all this comfort stuff. The survival of the fittest. That's all there is. There's no higher purpose, no big plan. There's nothing at the end of the rainbow. Except what you have and you can enjoy in the here and now.
And what do you enjoy now, Paul?
You're gonna have to excuse me, Inspector. I'm a very busy man. I've got work.
Oh.
I'll see myself out.
Lovely man, your father.
Shut the gate on your way out.
Of course, I'm listening at the window.
He's doing his very best to shut this place down. Get rid of him.
He's a policeman. We can't just...
Sort this. You man up and sort it. Tonight.
I think it's probably time to call the police inspector.
That doesn't sound good. Two totally morally bankrupt men are plotting to get rid of me. It's midnight. I don't have any backup and I don't even have a mobile phone. This is potentially quite bad. What's Kyle got to do with it? I think I might make my way over to Atlas while Ryan isn't there. Maybe lock myself in.
Okay, let's go to Atlas. It's locked.
Damn. I suppose it was too much to hope that Ryan had left the place open.
So, is there really anyone to talk to at this point? I'm at with this 96%. You can use cheats? I didn't even know there were cheats. Oh. Well, I haven't walked the course since it's been midnight. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Prove to me that you're man enough to do this, Kyle, and then you can deal with that ridiculous police inspector.
What is this? What the hell? Scotland Yard. Not hell. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Inspector. What are you doing here?
Inspecting. So, come on. Let's have it.
I don't think you'd understand, Inspector. The best thing that you can do is turn around, go away, and leave us to it.
Knife.
What?
That knife gives me a perfect right to stick my nose in, investigate, and interfere.
This is all part of the Atlas course. It's a physical endurance exercise.
Drop the knife. The knife, Kyle!
Kyle.
Drop it!
Drop it.
Not looking 100% brilliant for you, Ryan.
Well, please, Inspector, you've poked your nose into Atlas's affairs enough times to know that imaginative flair is part of the course's success. Our lessons are reinforced by a unique emotional experience.
Terror?
It's an extremely evocative tool.
Well, it's a good job you're not in charge of the national curriculum.
Now look, Inspector, I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're thinking. But believe me, Atlas had nothing to do with the deaths of those people.
Eyewitness account of a satanic sacrifice in the woods. That's not what we call circumstantial evidence, Ryan.
Simon. Now, I saw Simon walking home with Kate last Friday after the meeting. Now, Simon had some strange idea that he was in the running to become prime candidate. Well, a knob of butter has more chance of becoming prime minister. Oh, wait.
So are you telling me that...
Simon killed her? Well, it seems reasonable. It's likely, isn't it?
Any more likely than you, Ryan? Pig!
Oh.
I know. Police brutality.
Damn.
Are you okay?
So who is this? Are we not gonna find out who this is? She's just gonna leave. Okay, that's a thing. Oh, okay, let's finish walking through the woods. This is where the body was found here. Those people are still over there. To the end of the path. Okay, now go back to Woods Lane because we're going to talk to Simon and Emma about these accusations.
Couple more questions, if that's okay? How do you think you'd have reacted if you'd found out that Kate had been chosen to be prime candidate?
Is that... was she?
I'm just asking how you think you'd react.
I don't know. I wouldn't react in any way, really. I'm not bothered. I don't think she was, though.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's just an impression I got. You know, she's a bit flaky, to be honest. It's just not really prime candidate material.
Uh-huh.
What would you say if I said it's been suggested that you were seen walking home with Kate after Atlas last Friday?
What? By who?
The same person who suggested that you wanted Kate out of the picture because you found out she was in the running to be prime candidate.
Who said that?
Just a question.
I didn't think I was in the running. It was Ryan, wasn't it?
I am in no position to say.
It was Ryan.
Simon, calm down.
No, I can prove it. Kate's driving license, give it to me.
Why?
Kate's driving license, please. See that pattern on the tape there? Let me show you something.
It was on the window behind the pub.
See this pattern? Now look at that. It's the same pattern. This has come from the same roll of tape as this.
So
there's only one person who's taped like that. Ryan. He gave me this piece of tape when I was in his office once. Why has Kate's driving license got a piece of Ryan's tape on it?
I have no idea, Simon.
Where did you find it?
Oh, by the lake.
It's obvious, isn't it? Ryan was testing her. He was doing a boundary test to see how much she would do, how far she would go to be a prime candidate. But it all went wrong. Okay. It's one of the things we do at the course, right? You give something that's important to you to someone else, then they go and hide it somewhere. It's to teach you to not be bothered when you lose something that's important to you, all right? Kate gives her driving license to Ryan. Ryan goes and hides it somewhere down the lake. Kate finds out, she goes down looking for it, probably drunk, and she falls in.
I'm afraid I find that a bit far-fetched, Simon.
It makes perfect sense if you know anything at all about how Atlas
But
works.
Simon, if you got the tape from Ryan, Kate could have got it from him.
He told me he doesn't lend it out.
He lent it to you.
But I didn't kill her! Do a lab test on the card. His DNA will be all over it.
It was floating
And
in a
what
lake.
if yours is all over it?
It won't be. I didn't kill her. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. I need some painkillers.
He's running.
Where did he go in such a hurry? Is he trying to act as suspiciously as possible?
Okay, let's see if he runs anywhere around through here. Oh, that's not where he'd go. So it led me to the woods. But it's still locked. Okay. Let's go ask Emma.
A few more questions, please. Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen. Just because she was, you know, Kate.
You didn't discuss it with Kate?
No. No, she never talked about Atlas.
Did Simon mention walking home with anyone after the meeting last Friday?
No, he just came home. Why?
He didn't mention walking home with Kate?
No, definitely not.
Have you seen this anywhere before?
I've seen it somewhere, but can't remember. Sorry, no.
I remember. I remember exactly where I've seen that tape before. Come on, let me...
Do you know whether Kate was in the running to be prime candidate or not?
I don't, but I do think she would have been chosen.
Come on,
Just
let me...
because she was,
click the
you know,
exit thing.
Kate.
You didn't discuss it with Kate?
No. No, she never talked about Atlas.
That's it for the time
There
being.
we
Thank
go.
you.
Okay, so... let's go talk to Rebecca.
ask you a couple more things, please? Did you know Kate Vine was a prime candidate?
No.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Have you seen patterned tape like this anywhere before?
Oh, Ryan's got some. I know, because I borrowed it.
When was that?
A couple of months ago?
Have you still got it?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it since then.
She last saw the tape 2 months ago, but she taped over the window in the back with that tape because I saw it on the window.
Aha.
Yep. I knew. I saw that tape on the
ago.
window.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So how come you used it last week to tape over the broken window outside? That's the same tape.
Well, I must have been mistaken.
Oh boy.
The reason I'm asking is that it's exactly the same tape that was found attached to Kate's driving license, found at the scene. The tape that only Ryan has. Ryan, and of course, you.
Oh
so
boy.
what's he saying?
Who's got the tape now?
It's definitely one of these
Do
three.
you know where it is?
No. No, I don't know where it is. Why are you asking me about this tape?
I just
You
told you.
seem nervous, Rebecca. Is there a problem?
Well, you're practically accusing me of having something to do with that woman's murder, aren't you?
That's the
I wasn't
idea,
accusing
yes.
you of anything, Rebecca.
No, I was, yes.
Unless there's something you'd like to tell me.
No, I wouldn't like to tell you anything.
Okay, well, that's fine. Obviously, we'll be swabbing everyone in the area for DNA, so if anything comes up on Kate's license, DNA traces.
What'll come up? Nothing will come up. Right, I've had enough. I've got to get back.
Rebecca! Would you like to explain to me exactly what is going on?
Which bit? The fact that some leggy bitch was trying to steal my husband?
Aha!
I think you had better tell me what you know, Rebecca.
Okay. You want to know what I know? Kate
There we
Vine
go.
seduced my husband and was going to blackmail him. Not only did she sleep with him, that whore did it just for his money, our money.
How did you work that out?
I heard her. I knew it was her arguing with Emma Bowman. Emma was trying to talk her out of it.
And how did she come to be at the lake?
She dropped that driving license thing when she came in. She was drunk. She dropped her bag. I took it out to the woods and stuck it over the lake. Then I waited for her. When she came out, I told her where it was, that someone had just run off into the woods with it.
You led her to the lake.
She was reaching out over the lake to get it. I didn't do anything. She just fell in.
But you let her drown.
It was dark. I couldn't see anything. I couldn't help her.
Really? Did you try,
What
Rebecca?
is Rebecca?
Well, it was too late. She was just flapping about in the water. It was pathetic. She was making these gurgling sounds.
And what did you do?
I got a big stick. I just pushed her down with it until she stopped. Well, she was dead anyway. What did it matter?
You killed her, Rebecca.
But she slept with my husband.
She didn't, Rebecca.
What do you mean?
You got the wrong girl.
Who? Emma. It was Emma.
Rebecca Rand, I am arresting you for the murder of Kate Vine. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do say may be taken down and will be used in evidence against you.
Wow, I didn't see that one coming. I really thought it was her husband.
Yes.
So, it appears that Kate Vine's death was a tragic case of mistaken identity. But there are some loose threads here. What was Ryan doing with Kyle and that girl in the woods? What if I hadn't interrupted? And what really happened to Liam last year? It seems I've only scratched the surface of Atlas and the Rand business empire. Trying to find out about Paul Rand's past is like peering into dense fog. He gives nothing away and covers his tracks with military efficiency. However, What is known is that Paul Rand has a lot of connections in high places. Politicians, celebrities, business leaders. Perhaps James Wilson's ideas weren't too wide of the mark after all. I get the feeling there's still a lot more to learn about the Rand business empire.
You're gonna have to excuse us. Atlas is closed for the moment, but we'll be open again very soon. Thank you for your interest.
Well then. Oh, are these all the different items? That was actually pretty fun. Roll up this creepy mask. Yeah, this is all the different evidence you can pick up over the course of the game. What would be really interesting is if someone wrote a game like this that actually has multiple endings, where you could come to a different conclusion and different people could get blamed for it based on things that happened in the game, so it's not the same experience every time. That would be amazing. I really enjoyed this. I like this. This was pretty good. It was a fun little rompy adventure type deal. A nice little interlude, I think. Funded by Kickstarter. I can see that. That ending kind of leaves it open that there might be like a sequel to this game, which I would totally be down for playing a sequel, Contradiction 2 or whatever it would be called. I really enjoyed that. I like that. That was fun. Oh. What was that? Numa Films. So these are the guys that did all the video footage. Dedicated to Paul Dara. Oh, he was the guy who wrote it, yeah? Oh, so they are planning a sequel. That's awesome. Yeah, I would totally back a Contradiction 2. I'm gonna look and see if this is on Kickstarter. I would totally back Contradiction 2 if that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. What do I do now? Do I hit this? Resume. Interviewing Rebecca. Oh, that's the last thing I was doing. Okay, well, that was what, 5 hours? Oh, 5 hour stream, playing Contradiction. It's really early here, so I think I'm going to call it for today, and we'll be doing another stream tomorrow. So yeah, thanks for watching. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you next time.